One thing that I have been seeing, especially with a couple of my clients over the past 6 months or so, is that what they're paying to rent a property, they could be paying a similar, if not maybe just a little bit higher, to buy a property. So if you are somebody who is currently renting and debating if you should buy in the Central Ohio market, check out this video. There's going to be a lot of valuable information for you. So let's dive into what are the pros and cons of renting. So if you're somebody who's renting, you probably already know these things, but some great upsides of renting are obviously you can move locations fairly easily. You can lock your door, go on a vacation, and you know you're going to be good coming back to that property. You don't have to worry about maintenance items on the home. That would probably be the top thing. So, if an HVAC goes out or you need a new roof, those items you don't have to take care of. The landlord will normally take care of those things. And in some cases, renting can be a little bit cheaper. You can be in a more desirable location within those hotter locations in the Central Ohio area. Now, some downsides of renting, on the other hand, obviously you don't control what the rent is. So you could be living in a place and the landlord could increase that rent for the next year. That's something that I've seen my clients go through a lot. So, after that year lease, the rent increases and then you're like, okay, well now I gotta go find a new place. So that constantly bouncing from one place to another and moving that often can be tiresome. So I'm sure if you've been in a renting situation and you've had to move year after year or every couple of years, you know what it's like to pack everything up and then find a new place for it in your new apartment. So now let's talk on the flip side with buying. So obviously, some of those things I talked about with renting, you would have to deal with if you owned a property. So maintenance items around the house can get expensive if you have to put in a new HVAC system or windows or roof or siding, what have you. There's definitely that feature of owning that can be a deterring factor. So anything that goes wrong with the property, you are fully responsible for it. I mean, you obviously have to get some type of down payment, have closing costs, and have a pocket of money that you can use to purchase that property. But the upside is you own it. So you fully have say in what updates you do, how you lay out the property. You don't have to worry about putting too many holes in the wall, although, patching a hole can be annoying. But there are a lot of upsides of owning. And again, if you could do it for a similar price to what you're currently paying to rent, you can, and the biggest thing in my opinion is build that equity over time. So what can you do with that equity? Well, you can take that equity out of the property. I have several videos on how you can pull out a home equity line of credit and update the property so you can make the property just how you want. Or you can pull the cash out of that property and use it to buy your next property, maybe something that's a little bit bigger or in a more desired neighborhood that you've been wanting to get into or what have you. And building that equity over time will build your net worth. So let's have that net worth conversation. Net worth for homeowners on average is around $430,000. So this is from Keeping Current Matters, should be popping up around me somewhere right now. But that same net worth for somebody who rents is right around $10,000. So again, net worth isn't something that is just going to magically pop up over time. But if you buy a house, you put some sweat equity into it, or you do those renovations that you want to do that bring it up to modern standards, then you can build that equity quicker and build more of it over time. I do have a video that I just talked about a client success story with this as well, so you could go and check that out and see how much equity they've just built over the past couple years. So again, I want to reiterate that it is not overnight, but it is something that can continue to build over time. And it's so important Obviously, those stats are national, and it's very important to make sure that you focus in on the local Columbus, Ohio market as well. So if you are somebody who is renting and you're paying, around $2,000 or more per month to rent, you should really have a conversation with a real estate professional who knows the market really well to understand how you could be using that money to build that wealth, that net worth, and that equity over time. So again, knowing that that is a very common price for renters to be paying per month, and you could be taking that and putting it in your pocket and investing it over the long term. I know that not everybody is in a position to buy right now. It is very costly, and there does take a lot of planning that goes into purchasing a home. I help buyers every day work through that or build that cushion of money so that they can buy down the road. But there are instances where renting might be better for you. So if you are somebody in the Central Ohio market that is, not sure if they're going to stay here or maybe move to another city, obviously continue to rent and then get a sense of, okay, do you feel like you could really put roots down here and, build that equity over time? I mean, I always say for my buyers, plan on being in the house at least 3 to 5 years to start to build that equity, maybe even a little bit longer, depending on what your goals are on how much money you want to build within your house. But if you're somebody who is going to be transitioning their life and moving, then again, maybe sticking with renting for now is the best option. Again, every neighborhood's a little bit different in Central Ohio. You can build net worth and equity quicker in some neighborhoods as opposed to others. So again, always leaning back on a professional who knows each individual market within the Columbus area is going to be so key for your success in the long term. So if this video resonated with you, please make sure to reach out to myself. I would be happy to guide you through the process, sit down, chat with you about what buying looks like, what you're currently paying to rent, and see if it does make sense for you to purchase now, or maybe you need to save a little bit of money and purchase in the next 6 months to a year. Again, my name is C-Bus Nathan. I put out videos every Friday on Columbus, Ohio, anything from real estate to things to do and so much more. Again, if you want to book a one-on-one call with me, just click that link in my bio. We can set up a time to chat and hopefully find out if buying is the right choice for you. So until next Friday, I hope you all have a good week.